So you're going to hear them running around in the background, and I may have to step away from time to time, but otherwise we should be all set and ready to go. So let's kick this introduction.
Ask for the spell name, and then you have to click on the magnifying glass for the line just under that, and you can edit the save.
You know, I just remembered this. Zacharias from FGC, he told me that would happen, and it's only a programming glitch for when you're building a character. And that's when he said to me that when you build your character in this order. Do your attributes first, then your race, then your background, then your class, then your feats.
Correct.
And he says do that in order, and then your programming will not be wrong later on with that kind of stuff.
Now, I even added the spells as the very last thing, and it still didn't get my correct spellcasting stat.
The easiest way to change that is to change the spellcasting stat in your cantrips, and it will waterfall through the rest of them.
Oh, yeah?
Nice. So, ladies and gentlemen, hello, and welcome back to episode 2 of Tales from the Yawning Portal, Dragon Mountain. We have some lovely people here today. We added 2 new players to the roster as well. So before we get started, let's go through. Let's make sure everybody's here, because I know that one is AFK for a moment. Let's go through and introduce all the players again, and go from there. So why don't we start off with Aggie. I'm just giving up on trying to pronounce your character's name. We're gonna call you Aggie from now on.
Agluis.
Yeah, that whatever you said.
Agluis is a deep gnome sylvan wizard who has had kind of a troubled past. He used to work with his family on a farm, but then he decided he didn't want to be a farmer, and he eventually got out of that. But along walking around in a swamp area, he found a hut and an old man who was dying, and the old man told him about wizarding and funguses and teas and stuff like that, and he did a bunch of studying in his hut and got to be what he is right now. He also developed an affliction to wand collecting, and he'll collect wands basically any means that he can.
Cool. Okay, now did our scout... Nope, she's still AFK, so we'll skip her for the moment. Let's go with one of our new players. We will go with Bluemoon.
Hello.
Hello. Introduce your character and introduce yourself, dear.
Well, I'm from Europe, so for me it's late afternoon, and I'm happy to play here because that is actually a very lovely time to be playing D&D. I'm playing an aasimar cleric, so she's nice, she's lovely, and unfortunately she's not that much into the faith as into the street life, because she has had a hard upbringing as a child. She's been left and she doesn't know her parents. She just has this mixed bloodline that has some angelic powers in it. So basically, she's been taken pity from a monastery, and she grew up in the chapel of the monastery, learning divine spells, observing the clerics, and everybody she could know. But her childhood life on the street left her with few tricks here and there.
Ooh, very cool. We will find out more about Bluemoon very, very soon, I think. Let's go with Boden. He's got to put his tusks in.
Hi, I'm Zoo. I will be playing Boden, the half-orc celestial knight, paladin / celestial warlock, who stands for protecting all who need protecting. And he's come on this great adventure with these people, both for something to do and also to make sure they don't just throw their life away.
Awesome. Let's go with another one of our new players, Seraphin.
Hi guys, I'm Fury Fate. I'm playing Seraphin, which is the pretty-faced tiefling fighter who was sort of abandoned as a child. Father was a tiefling, mother was a succubus, I was born in a barn, and for some reason, they disappeared on me. Luckily, the owner of the grounds took me into his lovely mansion and kind of raised me there. But, childhood was ordinary. However, had a strange knack that any weapon I picked up, I could use it effectively. So after fighting in a battle of the Rat Hills, nearly escaping with my life, although a lot of my friends were injured or lost, I decided to continue my path as a lone mercenary.
Very cool. And last but not least, I see she's working on headset issues. Let's talk about Ariki. Can you hear us, Alex? Because we cannot hear you if you have spoken yet. She may still be working on those issues, and we will have to hear from her shortly, I guess. Why don't we go ahead and have a recap of last game session, which is our first game session. Why don't we have Aggie or Boden? One of the two of you, since Alex is unable. Yeah, guess what? If you can say svirfneblin, I will say Agluis. Okay, there you go. I will help you out with that. The day you say svirfneblin properly, I will say Agluis. Otherwise, I'll call you Aggie. So one of the two of you guys can Rochambeau for it, as far as I'm concerned. You can roll dice to figure out who goes. But one of you tell us what happened last game session.
You want to go for it?
I take the silence as no.
Yeah, guess not. All right. Well, we were at the Yawning Portal Tavern, sitting there for a few weeks. Nothing to do. No aims or goals. And an old man named Frederick offered us some gold and some stories of adventure and unclaimed treasures to escort him back home to Harker's Ferry. We took him up on that and traveled for 3 uneventful days to Harker's Ferry. Frederick told us the tale of a sorcerer who was disguised and got angry and eventually dried up the river. Then went on to tell us about an unclaimed dragon horde nearby. And as the story goes, a lich confronted the dragon, both died, and the catch is that the mountain home of the dragon magically moves and is accessible for only a short period of time every 20 years. But somehow it's still nearby. So maybe he knows a little more than he's saying. A townsperson named Eric said he knows a guy who was actually once in the dragon horde, and he lives in Twin Forks. And Agluis wanted to know if there was wands included in that dragon horde. And this guy named Lothar in Twin Forks would know if there are wands. And we're curious about the horde, so we headed off the following day to Twin Forks. We found a great spot for a camp. Unfortunately, it was already occupied by people waiting to ambush us. Got into a large fight, knocked one of the bandits out, and the rest fled away northeast on a road towards Twin Forks. And that's where we left off.
Excellent. Very, very good. Now, I actually have a little bit of backstory. Now, before I actually get into that, let me just double check. Does everybody have... Yep, everybody has inspiration already. in this case, Boden, you would have earned yourself a point of inspiration for going through the recap of last game session if you had spent your inspiration from last time. But you didn't, so you won't get any. So, nanny nanny boo boo. However, I will like to introduce the two new characters and give their plot hook to get into this as well. Bluemoon is a priestess of Lathander, the Morning Lord, the god of light, the god of dawn. And she has had a relatively easy and simple life at the monastery. She does enjoy rubbing elbows with the common folk. She grew up on the streets of Waterdeep, so she likes to rub elbows from time to time, take off her clerical vestments, and head back down into the city. However, while she was in the city, she was robbed. She was robbed in a big way. She is down to her last few coins rubbing together. And after an extensive search and putting her feelers out to those she knows on the streets, she discovered that a man by the name of Lothar the Shiv, who lives in a place called Twin Forks, is the one who robbed him. Looking for someone to travel with her, to go and find this person and to retrieve her items and to bring him to justice, she ran across another person also looking for Lothar the Shiv, a young tiefling woman by the name of Seraphin, who, during some business dealings in Waterdeep, had been cheated out of quite a bit of money, and, well, Lothar was the one who cheated her as well. So the two of them have banded together and headed towards Twin Forks. On their way to Twin Forks, in the distance, they saw, as they were about a day's ride to the southeast of Twin Forks, they saw a number of people, namely 2 elves, a gnome, and a half-orc, being set upon by a very large group of bandits. The surprising thing is, instead of watching this small group get waylaid by these bandits, the bandits actually fled these very powerful people. And, well, that is where we're going to actually pick up the story, as the players who have captured a bandit, one of the brigands who set upon them on the road and tied him to a tree, they will be questioning the finally conscious captured brigand, while our 2 new player characters approach from the west. And there they are on the maps. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I have already added to all of your character sheets that was missing anything. I've already added all of your special coding effects and such, so you do not have to re-add them. But this is where we will pick up.
So we're seeing them just approaching directly after the battle?
I know that Ariki definitely notices them. Alex, are you able to speak yet, or no?
Yes, but
Excellent.
I'm on my phone, so hitting push to talk sometimes takes a minute.
All right, not a problem. Ariki, you do see that there are 2... Well, it kind of looks like heaven and hell. There looks like somebody who has some blood of a demon and one who has blood of an angel are coming in your direction from the west. It's about 45 minutes after the battle. Boden, I would expect at the moment your attention is probably more on the brigand who is just becoming conscious.
Yep.
Go ahead, roleplay amongst yourselves. And as a note, Ariki, the rest of the party does not appear to notice the 2 who are coming from the west.
Okay. Oi, company.
Yes, he's just waking up.
The brigand
No,
kind of lifts
there.
a very bloodied head as you guys begin to speak.
Yeah, no, there. Just point off towards where the newcomers are.
Seeing the newcomers, Boden will stay close to the brigand and have a hold of the back of his neck and turn to face those approaching.
All right. Agluis, by the way, you can indeed, now that that you've been alerted to the fact that there's somebody approaching, you do indeed see these two women approaching. Taharan, the NPC who's traveling with a group, he is definitely going to move back a little bit, and he is going to stand over by Boden. Matter of fact, I'm going to unlock the tokens, so you guys can all move yourselves around as you wish. This is more of a role-play encounter than anything else.
Seraphin's going to kind of close the gap because she doesn't want to be yelling at everybody across a field. Hi there. I see you have an interesting fellow that I would like to question, once you're done with.
Looking around this area for our two newcomers, you see that there are a number of human bodies laying on the ground. Some of them are charred, some of them are cut, some of them are poked, but most every one of them is dead. You also notice there's a inordinately large number of horses, which, by the way, everybody in the party has a horse as well. So you have an additional, I think it was 8 horses that are tied up nearby.
Okay.
What is your business with this man?
With him, particularly, nothing. With his employer, that's a different story.
You know who his employer is?
Judging by the colors he wears, I'm saying it's the Shiv.
You mean Lothar?
Unless you know a different Shiv, but yes, Lothar.
Boden looks down at the bandit for confirmation.
Through a swollen eye and blood dripping down a wound on the side of his face, the brigand kind of tries to stare at you menacingly with his one good eye, but it just kind of looks pitiful as he seems to be defiant.
I want to approach and I was like, hello guys, please let me join your party. I want to have a few words with your captive.
This should be interesting.
So, this very pretty woman walks over, and, well, they're both pretty women, but they both walk over, and Boden, give me an insight check. This is more for the brigand than it is for the women. Because I have no idea what the women are about ready to do, so I'll be just as surprised as anything else. So the brigand, on the other hand, he stares up at the two women, not so much with contempt in his eyes, but this look of, they're just women, what are they going to do to me? Kind of thing going on behind his one good eye.
I approach him very carefully and I'm taking, like, I'm biding my time.
Let me guess, you're biding your time until I answered the question that you sent me in Discord.
Yes.
Which I just did, and it was a yes. For a note, for my players, if you wish to get in touch with me, you can always whisper the Game Master right on the table by typing \W and then space, the letters GM, and then space, and then your message. If it's in Discord, I probably will miss it during a game, because I do not pay any attention to Discord, because I get messaged about 1,000 times while I'm gaming.
So Boden kind of smiles and tosses the guy at the women's feet. This should be interesting.
I want to cast Zone of Truth. I'm sorry, we had a family discussion here.
Ooh, a little Zone of Truth. All right. So you cast Zone of Truth. He is incapable of lying at this point. He has been so beaten,
Neither
battered, and
is
broken.
anybody else who is in the zone.
Yes, it does affect everybody else. Matter of fact, what is it? 20-foot radius or 10-foot radius? I don't remember.
I closed the book. It says 50-foot radius here.
Awesome. Yep, 15-foot radius. Yep, centered on a point of your choice.
Well, that suspect is my point of choice.
Okay.
I'm like, Seraphin, dear, do you want to ask him something? He will not resist.
There you go. So anybody who is inside the blue circle is inside the Zone of Truth. Surprisingly, however, Boden, you feel the magic wash over you. However, I mean, all of you, I mean, you're high enough level, you can feel magic touch you. However, it doesn't seem to affect you at all.
Well, ask your questions of the man then.
We're looking for your employer. Do you know his hideout?
I don't want to answer you.
Would someone be so nice to assist me and make him answer?
As that happens, Agluis starts to say, if you don't start talking, I'm going to put a world of hurt on you, as he starts winding up a chromatic orb.
I'm just going to step out where he can see me, and I have a very easy, clear shot, and knock an arrow in my bow pointed at him. Rather threateningly.
Okay, alright. Let's see. I'm going to allow Ariki, out of everybody who's here, I'm going to allow Ariki to roll the group's intimidation check at advantage. Since basically all of you are kind of ganging up on him, he is, after all, in a Zone of Truth. He has to speak the truth. He does not necessarily have to answer your questions, but he does have to answer in some way, and it has to be truthful. So go ahead, Ariki, and roll a intimidation check at advantage. In the tower. Sorry, I forgot to say that. In the tower, please. Even though you probably want that 16, you need to roll it in the tower.
What happened to your tower?
Is the tower gone?
If I can find the tower,
Oh, did I not turn it on?
minimizing. It looks like it might not be on.
Oh, well, silly me. Yes, it's off. There, now it's on.
Tower. Much better. Now
Little
I can roll
things-
this in the tower.
Yeah, little things to remember as a game master for Fantasy Grounds. Turn on specific options, turn off other options. For example, I hate the center map option. Ooh, decent roll, decent roll. Okay, so
Good.
the brigand laying on the ground, surrounded by all of you, is definitely feeling a little bit more intimidated. He understands that he is going to die. At least that's what the vibe is at the moment. And he is in a Zone of Truth, so go ahead and you may begin to ask him questions, and he will respond to you now as truthfully as he can, as he knows, and he will answer your questions as you ask them.
Where's your boss located? Where's your hideout?
Lothar, he lives in Twin Forks.
Is there a secret entrance?
To Twin Forks? No, it's just a small village.
Let me start with a simpler question. Do you want to live?
Of course I want to live. You can tell, because since you're the owner of the magic, you can tell that that wasn't compelled at all. He was actually just being honestly truthful.
Do you have family?
I have a brother that lives in Luskin.
Do you love your brother?
Not really. He's kind of a dick.
Oh, so he won't miss you if you die, right?
Probably not. He'd probably help you.
I'm like thinking to myself, that's good to know. Then, are you willing to lead us to your boss and thus save your life?
I'm not willing to lead you to Lothar. After all, I'm actually more scared of him than I am of you.
What would he do? What do you think he'll do to you when he gets to know that actually you thought about his hideout?
Well, he launches into a story about all the pain and suffering and torture he would go through, which, for those of you in the party who are a little bit sensitive, actually kind of makes your stomach a little upset to hear the graphic detail in which he is explaining how he is going to be tortured. And to keep my stream relatively PG-13, I will not describe it.
Boden growls a little uncomfortably and says, "Well, you're coming with us one way or another. We can let you go, or we can hand you over to them."
I would greatly prefer being let go, but Lothar lives in Twin Forks. That's where he lives.
And where do you live?
I live in Luskin. Well, that's where I'm from anyway. I live wherever the boss tells me I need to be. That's where I live.
Would you like not to have a boss?
Well, no, he treats us really well. We have a 401k and a retirement plan. You know, we have dental and medical. So no, not really. It's difficult to find full-time employment these days. I could hear the collective, face palm the entire party just did.
Yeah, with the dentals, you nailed it.
He smiles a toothy grin. His teeth are remarkably good.
So basically, you want to keep your perks.
I would like to keep my life.
Well, we all would like to keep our lives. That goes without saying. What will you do if we let you go?
I can promise that I won't attack you again. He is telling the truth at this point, so...
Yeah, what if your boss tell you to do so?
The boss heard that people were asking about him, and so he sent us out to stop people. We didn't realize that the people who were coming were so powerful.
How many more of you are there?
The boss has a network all over the Sword Coast. So reaching him may be difficult. Especially with the guys who left. I'm sure they're going to go on and warn others.
How many did manage to escape?
I do believe, what was it? It was, 5 or 6 got away?
Something like that. I lost count.
Yeah, so he'll say however many it was.
Yeah, how far away is your boss settlement from here on a horseback?
On horseback, about a half day.
Does your party that escaped have horses?
Yes.
Will you show us how to get there?
The Twin Forks. Follow the road.
Yes.
And he kind of nudges his head over to this side of the map, and he shows you kind of like that little path that's going up. That's the road you guys were following to begin with. He says, just keep following the road. It goes right to Twin Forks.
Agluis makes him an offer. If you show us how to get there exactly and any traps that might be on the way, we will let you go immediately once we get there and see that the village is there. Here, telling the truth.
I'm not going to go with you. Because the boss sees me with you. Then, yeah.
We'll put a mask over your face.
Well, no. If I'm going to betray the boss and tell you where he is, then I'm not going to go with you.
As I said, you're going to go with us one way or another.
I'd really prefer not.
You made that choice when you attacked us.
Well, I didn't have a choice. I was paid to do this.
You always have a choice.
Well, in that case, then my choice is not to go to Twin Forks.
But that choice was already made. Stop playing games.
You said I always have a choice. My choice is not to go to Twin Forks. And he's like his one eye has gone from this glaring like resistance kind of thing. It's now, I mean, it's almost pleading with you to, to be let go. I mean, he looks pitiful.
Then I suppose you could die.
Wait, he might have more information. Are there any passwords or any signs that we should be watching for?
We really don't have any passwords, no.
No secret knock-knock signs?
Not in our group, no. Though that would be a really good idea.
What is it you normally do for Lothar?
We're strong arms mostly. We just rob people on the road, take their money, and then we give it to our captains, and the captains bring it back.
Agluis asks, do you steal wands?
Steal whatever they have, whatever the travelers have. Wands, carts, horses, goats. We really like the goats.
What do you do with the goats?
He then goes into a story about what they do with a goat that is also not appropriate for my stream, and probably would get you arrested in most countries in the world.
In that moment, I'm like, I don't want to know. Please stop.
He does. He stops. That's only some of us, though. That's only some of us. Frank, he really likes goats, and that's what he does. But the rest of us, no, we don't usually do that. Frank is a little touched.
Is Frank here with you right now? Is he one of the dead bodies?
He kind of, from where he's laying on the ground and looks around with his one good eye, I don't see his body here. I know he was with us when we attacked, but I don't see him here.
Do you know where your boss keeps the treasures he receives?
No. Lothar keeps that stuff to himself.
Is there anybody else who could know?
I am a low-level person, so low-level I don't even have a name, so no, I have no idea.
Does he appear to trust his captains?
You can roll an insight check to figure it out.
Okay.
Your insight is in the skills tab of your character sheet, and you can just double click on it. There it is.
I just drag and drop it.
Yep, that's fine too. He doesn't. He trusts them as far as he knows that he's going to get fed by them, they're going to find good loot together, he's going to get a share, that kind of stuff. It's kind of like that pirate's trust. But as far as, you know, knowing the secrets that they know or anything like that, no. He has no idea.
Boden's getting visibly bored with this line of questioning and is getting antsy to get moving.
Guys, maybe we should head out because the time is running. He stole my precious belongings. I want them back.
One moment, please, people. I have to help my son get out the door because apparently the door is frozen.
Well, we need to camp. We should head out in the morning, and we can discuss plans for getting there on the way.
I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen, because my youngest boy, our 8-year-old, is on his way out the door getting ready for the bus, and the door was frozen shut. So, alright, so what would you like to do with him? He seems to have divulged all the information he knows.
I'd like to step out of the zone of truth, and I'm like asking, guys, what do you think we should do with him?
Mercy kill.
No, we take him with us on the back of the horse to make sure we get there and release him when it's in sight.
If we do that, we should definitely gag him and put a mask over his head.
And I hope to find an alternate way around, not going up the road directly.
Tie him in a tree for the night.
Ariki, can you keep an eye on him through the evening?
Wait, y'all want to stay here among the dead bodies?
Why not?
It is pretty late at night at the moment. It's 8, 9 p.m. and the weather is chilly, and having a fire and other such things would probably be good. Traveling at night in this weird wintry time, even along a road, would be pretty dangerous.
Boden will tie him up to his warhorse.
Okay. All right, so you will tie him to your warhorse. Are you like tying him like over the back of your warhorse?
No, I'll leave him enough rope that he can actually like sit down next to the horse, but the horse can take off or whatever while he's still there.
Okay. Okay. So you'll tie him up to that. So he is basically taken care of, I guess is the best way of putting it. And you want to keep him. So he'll whine and complain until the gag gets shoved in his mouth. But other than that, it looks like you're all ready for a rest.
Yes, and as the time progresses, if the party gets like I'm wearing my hood really low and stuff, but still part of my face is visible. So if you look at my direction, my skin glows a light pale blue.
Ooh, a light pale blue. So, who would like to be on watch for the evening?
Boden will take the first watch.
All right, Boden's on the first watch.
I can take any watch.
Okay. Anybody want to take any additional watches or anything like that?
Well, I can take third watch.
Okay. Alrighty, so why don't I have Boden roll me a percentile dice? And then I will have, was that Ariki or was that Seraphin that said she would take any?
Ariki.
That was Ariki.
Okay. Your voices are very close to each other, so I have to learn to differentiate. And then I will need a percentile dice out of Ariki for the second watch, and a percentile dice out of Bluemoon for the third watch.
I have a question. How do I do that?
Okay. Down at the bottom of your fantasy grounds, you'll see a bunch of dice.
Yes.
The
and
D10.
I see 20.
Yep, the D10,
Okay.
if you right-click on that, it brings up a little wheel. One of them's a percentile. You would take that and then just drag and drop that right into the chat window.
Did I do it right?
Yes, you did. You did it absolutely correct. All right, so that's some next level fantasy ground stuff right there when we start getting into rolling oddball dice. So the night passes smoothly for all of you. Ariki, at one point in time, you thought you heard a few things in the woods around you, and went to investigate and discovered that it was a number of coyotes dragging one of the brigands' bodies off into the darkness to go devour. Other than that, you all get to take a long rest, and you are healed. Dawn the next day. It is a cold, cold morning. Thankfully, the fire is stoked, and you have your very meager breakfasts that you have brought along with you of some porridge and some scraps of bacon, but otherwise, you are all set and ready to go on the rest of your adventure.
So I expect through the night, Boden and everybody introduced each other. But come morning, Boden will ask what your business is with Lothar and why you've come all this way. To the two new arrivals.
He stole something that's precious to me. I want it back. Besides my money, of course.
And he owes me a great sum of money.
Oh, that was short and to the point.
And how did he come to owe this to you?
He reneged on a contract.
Seems like the type. Well, how do you wish to proceed to get to him?
Well, my question for the players is, you have a large number of extra horses. What do you want to do with them?
Maybe sell them for money.
So you want to bring them with you?
Bringing them with us into the apparent stronghold of the guy that we effectively stole them from really does not seem like the best idea.
Yes, but they could be used for bringing home the loot that we take from raiding that area.
I agree that we should keep them, perhaps to sell them, perhaps to use them, perhaps both. But I suggest that perhaps we don't want to take them into the town, simply because they will likely be recognized as not belonging to us, and will make it that much more difficult for us to have our civil discussions with this Lothar the Shiv. May or may not stay civil, but we would like to at least attempt to start that way.
Or you could use the horses as distraction, set them loose into the little town, have them running. Everybody would try to capture them, recapture them. or wonder why the horses are running loose.
Someone with a plan. I like this.
The Boden voice really makes me laugh my ass off. I love it. Okay, all right. Taharan, who is the NPC, he's a healer kind of thing. He is happy with the idea of utilizing them as a distraction. That would be fun.
Now, the only other option or idea is either tying the dead bodies to the horses, so when you send them in, it causes even bigger distraction.
Ooh.
Well, then Taharan can be the one who organizes the horses as the distraction and keeps watch over them.
My dear, I have absolutely...
Since he likes the idea so much.
Oh, I may like the idea, but I have absolutely no ability to handle any sort of animal. I barely can control the horse that I ride on.
Or yourself in combat, it seems.
Hey, now.
Boden will start rounding up all the horses and kind of tying them to each other in a chain so we can travel with them.
Okay, not a problem. And at that point, I will close this map, and we will move on to the next section.
Or we can pretend to be horse stewards, which happen to have a lot of horses for sale. Of course, we'll strip them from their saddle. We can rub some dirt and something like disguise the horses.
Rub some dirt on it.
I don't think we look much like horse merchants.
Probably not, no. But after a bit...
I can work on that.
After a little bit, you are able to get all of the horses together. It takes you roughly an hour. Do you wish to take the bodies with you too, or is that just a tongue-in-cheek reference?
Someone else would have to do that if they want to. Boden has no interest.
Okay. In that case, then, it doesn't take very long, but the next day, or this day, a little bit later on in the afternoon, around a little bit after lunch, nestled between two branches of the Sinji River, you approach a very small, quaint little village. Not very many houses here at all. You can see that most of the area is all farmers. But as you get to the town proper, you can see that there's a blacksmith, a miller, a supply store, and a very good-sized inn. Not quite as big as the one that was in Harker's Ferry, but about 2 stories. And it also seems to be the local watering hole. It's called the Twin Forks Inn.
But as far as we know, we're not really near Twin Forks yet, right? That's still another
No, you're in Twin
ride.
Forks. No, it took about the rest of the day, the regular portion of the day, in order to reach Twin Forks. But you're here now.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I just fast forwarded past the playing with horses. You have all the horses as you pull into town. I will tell you that.
Are we on the... Like, from what direction are we entering the town?
You are coming in from the south.
Are we at the edge of the town, or...?
Yep, you've entered the town proper, which is like the central portion of it, where there's actually like other buildings. Otherwise, everything around the outside has been miles and miles of farms. Various types of farms. You have wheat and corn and a couple of livestock farms, but for the predominant area, which the brigand will be able to tell you is the area is full of nothing but farmers.
Okay, so if we're going to use the horses as a distraction, I would say we let them loose now and set them running wild.
Okay. So you're basically coming into a quiet little sleepy village and just letting horses go.
Yeah, outside of town, we'll release them and kind of smack them so they go running back to their stables.
Okay. All right. So just outside of town, just before you get to the town proper area, you let them go. You slap them, and you tell them, "Run away! Go do your thing." And actually, one of you, I don't care which one of you give me an animal handling check at advantage.
I got that.
Awesome. All right, so you slap it, they run off a little bit, and they go wandering off into a wheat field and start grazing along the edges of it.
Boden kind of looks to the tiefling. Did that work?
Are anybody else, like the townspeople, looking at the horses, going over to the horses?
No, townsfolk. I mean, as I said, at the edge of the town, there's really not a lot of people outside. It's cold, and nobody really cares. And the horses really didn't go rampaging or anything like that. Maybe a farmer from way, way far away notices a bunch of horses, but he hasn't done anything about it yet.
Not exactly the response I was hoping from these villagers. Although if they care about their crops, they would totally react to a fire on them.
They would, if it was not wintertime when the crops aren't actually planted.
That's right.
Is there a map for this place?
No, there is not. And as a reminder to my players, do not whisper me in Discord. Whisper me on the table.
So Boden turns to the brigand. How many men did you say you had here?
I didn't. We have no men here. We're to the south, and our whole job is to raid people to the south. We don't come here. Only the captains come here.
So you don't happen to know which house is his?
No.
Should have killed him in the field.
Well, we're here now. Boden kind of kicks him off the horse and sets him free.
Boden, since you're the one who is actually physically manhandling him, why don't you give me an insight check? As you kick him off, and he was talking about, we don't come here, only the captains come here kind of thing, he looks like he might have more information to divulge.
Does he relay that message to Agluis or the party? Or that thought?
Yeah, I'm afraid. I know you have more to tell. We can run you down, or you can tell us what you have.
Okay, then Agluis instinctively hits him with a detect thoughts, this second level spell.
Ah, okay. So, all right, I will tell you in a whisper what it is that you can get. Now, don't worry about the saving throw. He's automatically failing his saving throw. He has been beaten up, dragged around on the back of a horse, tied to a tree, all sorts of stuff. He is incapable of being able to succeed on a saving throw at the moment.
I turn around and ask, is there something wrong, guys?
Agluis tells the party that the thoughts of the guy he had. It says that he overheard the captains talking about going to the inn to meet with Lothar.
Of course, the brigand gets like a wide-eyed in his one good eye. He gets wide-eyed as he hears Agluis speak his own thoughts, like, "Oh, this is not good."
And Agluis asks that he get knocked out.
I think Boden will oblige that.
Just gonna knock him clean out.
Yeah, knock him out, lay him to the side of the road as we move forward.
Awesome. All right, so why don't you go ahead and give me an attack roll, Boden? This will determine, I don't care about the damage side of it, this will just determine how hard you hit him and whether it knocks him out or kills him outright. Yeah, you hit him pretty good. It does indeed knock him for a loop. He is alive, as he is rolled off into a ditch, and one of the random horses that you had let go comes over, and just to make chat happy, the horse will pee on the brigand as it wanders by grazing.
That's just mean.
It's kind of like the rats who eat Kenny every time he dies.
Let's tie him to a tree since he's knocked out, and then I suggest we check out whatever possible inn he may have been thinking about.
Well, as I said, there is only one inn in Twin Forks, and it is in the dead center of town, pretty close to the fork in the river. It's called Twin Forks, once again, because there is a fork in the river that passes right here. So there is only one, and it is called the Twin Forks Inn.
Guys, I think it will be suspicious if we all together go into that inn.
Okay, you guys
I
can
agree.
go other locations. I mean, there are other things. As I said, there's a blacksmith, there's a supply store, there's a miller.
The inn seems like the first place we would go, and we should go as a force.
We could send a few people inside the inn and then have a couple hang outside, to keep from others interrupting the conversation.
If he's smart, he should have somebody watching the village and the inn entry and exits, if there are more than one.
Okay, all right.
I want to remind you, the street is never empty. There's always somebody watching.
Says the resident little street rat.
Boden kind of shrugs and starts moving his horse forward slowly while the rest decide on a plan.
Okay. As I said, the Twin Forks Inn is only 2 stories tall. It's good sized. It's not huge, but it's good sized. It looks like a fair amount of the downstairs area, looking at it from the outside, is probably a eatery or a tavern of some kind. There is no stable, but there is there are hitching posts outside. Across the street to the west, there is a large stable that seems to be what they call a coaching inn. It's where people who have carts and coaches and such, if they were to travel through this area, that's where they would go and they would store them. You do hear the whickering of a number of horses from inside of that. So that is what you have at the moment.
I want to keep an eye on the streets and on the windows if there are like 2-story houses around.
Most of the houses in town here are all 1 or 2 story. They're all very simple. Most of them have thatched roofs. Only the businesses seem to have any sort of tiling or slate that goes on the roof. As far as the windows go, the occasional, housewife kind of like, sets a pie out to cool kind of thing, or you see a number of children that are playing in a mud puddle somewhere nearby. But for the most part, because it is so cold outside, there's even some, snow piles on the ground. Not a lot of people are out and about today.
Can I sense when somebody is watching our group?
If there is a time when that happens, I may give you a perception check.
Okay. I want to keep my eyes open for any telltale on the streets.
Okay, not a problem. So, all right. So, Bluemoon, you are watching the streets. Boden is approaching the inn. What are the rest of you doing?
Agluis is just sitting around on his horse, pulls out his pipe, and lights it.
Ariki will climb off her horse and look around for a. No, I will circle the inn, checking for potential exits, be they windows or doors or secret exits.
Okay. I will allow you to make your choice, investigation or perception. But there are 3 exits that are currently visible. There are 2 to the south, one at each end of the building. It's a long building. And then 1 in the north. The one to the north appears to be like a kitchen door. The ones to the south appear to be like main entrances. The one on the west side is a entrance to like the tavern/eatery. The one on the east side is an entrance to the inn proper, where you would go and get a room kind of thing. And with that check, you determine that there is no other secrets about the place.
Agluis proposes a plan that you guys can sneak in the back if you'd like, but he'd like to kind of walk in all chummy-like with his pipe in his hand and just walk in and just look at the scenery of what's going on inside, and all the time readying his greater invisibility as an action in case somebody does try to attack him.
Okay.
Inside the inn.
Alrighty.
I think watching the back exit is a very good idea.
Alright, so we're going to have a couple of
going-
you watching the back. Is that what we have? And then a couple of you approaching the front?
Yeah, how big is this building, by the way?
As I said, it's not very big. It's only about 20 feet deep, and give or take, it's about 50 to 60 feet long.
Perfect.
And it's 2 stories, so...
So we got 2 entrances in the back, and then the side with the kitchen, and then the front.
Well, we have 2 entrances in the front and 1 in the back.
Oh, okay.
Are there any windows at the backside?
There are windows, yeah. Not a lot on the backside. There's like a small window near the door for the kitchen.
I mean on the second floor.
Oh, on the second floor? Yes, there are windows up there. They're spaced about every 10 feet. 1 every 10 feet.
Agluis would like to go through the left door, but before he does that, though, he'd like to lay down a big cropping of grease on the right door in case somebody gets the idea to go out that door.
So you're going to cast the spell Grease?
Yes.
Okay. How long does that last?
1 minute.
1 minute? Okay.
And Boden will dismount and have his warhorse just alert him if anybody's going to be coming in the other door.
Okay. All right.
And he'll walk in with Agluis when he's ready.
Oh, he's ready.
All right. So Boden and Agluis go in the front door after Agluis casts Grease over on the far side. Okay, it looks like Bluemoon and Ariki are watching the backside, and Seraphin is watching
The kitchen door.
the kitchen door as well. Okay, so the three ladies are on the backside, and the three men enter. Because Taharan will go inside as well. What you walk into is what looks like a typical small village inn and tavern. You can see that there is some ale and wine behind the counter because you have entered the food side. And you can smell food cooking. There's a nice warm fire in the hearth. Other than that, you see a single man who is currently cleaning a mug behind the bar. He looks up. "Welcome, travelers. What can I do for you?"
A drink and some information. We're looking for Lothar. The guy named Rick. Was it Rick? And looks at Agluis. It was Rick, right? Yeah, he sent us to speak with Lothar. He has some information that we are looking for.
Lothar, you say? Well, Lothar moved here a few years ago. He comes by every once in a while. Why would you be looking for someone like him?
We heard he was looking for workers, and we'd like to possibly join his group.
Truly then. Well, Lothar, he comes in most nights. He's kind of a strange one, though. I suppose if you want to hang out and wait for him this evening, you could. And he starts putting together some ales and stuff like that for you.
Boden just kind of looks at Agluis, who's taken the lead on this one, and kind of surprised a little bit at his answer.
Yeah, and the fact that there's not really many people inside the inn.
Nope, they're still out working.
Yeah, Agluis flips the bartender a gold coin. Do you know when Lothar would be coming around here?
Usually comes around in the evenings.
What time?
Evening. Please note, there's no such thing as a clock in this place. So the guy goes by if the sun is up, the sun is down, etc., etc. So evening in his case would be when it's starting to get dark. Which, for your perspective, that would be a few hours from now.
Agluis asks if there's any fine meats dealers in this village.
Meat dealers? Like, are you looking for something specific? Hey, there may be a haunch of venison still nearby, but I don't really know of a meat dealer of any kind, like a butcher.
Some smoked jerky or something.
I suppose you could probably find some at the supply store across the street.
Okay. Agluis suggests to Boden that we go do that, and we leave, and we just go to the back to tell everybody else that he's have plans to come back in the next few hours. You should probably try to do some sort of stakeout.
Okay, so you walk out and you go tell the ladies this, I guess. Boden and Taharan is still inside. Taharan actually orders food because it smells good and sits down at a table.
Yeah, Boden sits down as well and just kind of nurses his drink for a while.
Okay. For how long would all of you like to do this?
Boden will sit there until things change, till they either come in and we discuss something else, or someone comes gets him, or Lothar shows up.
Okay. All right, not a problem. So I will remove us from the inside and go to the outside for a little while and find out what the ladies are doing. And Agluis. As Agluis walks up and explains that that Lothar, your target, is not going to be in for a few hours. We'll pick it up from there. Ladies?
Shall we set a trap for him?
In response to the information, Ariki just shrugs and settles in for a nice long wait. Quite used to the hurry up and wait mentality.
Or we could track down where he is. I mean, if he lives here, he has to have a house somewhere, right? Someplace that he rests his head at night.
Or he should have a base. Like a base of operation somewhere. But I assume that will be way too hidden.
As a note, those of you who are watching the back, through the back window of the kitchen, you can see that there is a woman running around cooking at the moment. Thankfully, the smells of the food have yet to reach you.
It's a human woman?
Yes. Every person you have seen so far in this town is all human.
Awesome. Okay. Ariki, you're elf, right? You're elven?
I can pass for a human.
Yes, she is elven. And yes, Bluemoon, you can definitely pass for a very good-looking human, but a human nonetheless.
I would like to make myself like dirty. Be
Okay.
like a traveler, sort of. Not very clean, not very well kept.
Go ahead and roll
I mess my hair.
Go ahead and roll me. Let us see. What shall we roll?
I have proficiency with disguise kit.
Yeah, why don't we go ahead and do that? We're going to do a performance on this. Actually, deception. Do deception. And I'll give you advantage on a deception check. Ooh, very good. Very good roll. Okay, so you get yourself all dirtied up. You look,
Like a well-worn traveler.
yes, you look like you have some road dirt on you. You definitely have dressed down a little bit, so you look a little bit more common than what your heritage would belie.
And I've lived on the street, so I can go and beg for food. Or at least for information.
Well, your disguise is good. Okay, I will say your disguise is good. However, please note, you do have a magical set of armor and a magical shield. They shine like the sun.
Do I have a cloak? Can I cover them? Like put the shield on my back?
Yes, you can cover
Try
them over.
to dirty the armor and like put some clothes over a cloak or something around me.
Sure, you can wrap a cloak around yourself so you can kind of remain it, keep it hidden. That's absolutely fine by me. I may have you roll a stealth check sometime in the future, just to kind of notice if you have it well hidden or not.
I just make myself dirty, like I disguise myself. I get my clothes not to look that fine. That's the idea behind it. Just to look like an ordinary traveler who is not very rich, but who's not poor either.
Okay. Alright, so you get yourself all done down.
I'll go there and I will put my nose in there and I will sniff a few times, like very obviously sniffing the air, making sure that maybe the woman will notice me.
Okay. Well,
If she
since you're being
doesn't,
pretty out in the open. So the woman notices you through the window and comes to the door. You're of course all wrapped up in a cloak and all dirty and everything like that. She kind of pops it open a little ways and sticks her head out. What do you want?
Excuse me, madam, I've been passing through and it smells delicious. Do you have something that I can take with me on the road? And I will get her like 2 or 3 coppers.
Come around to the front. You look absolutely horrible. Come around to the front.
I don't want to scare your clientele, miss.
Oh, I hardly doubt that. Just go around front. Come inside and go around front.
I was just looking for something quick to take with me.
Oh, I'm sure Cooper will let you have something. Just come around front.
Okay, miss.
And she looks around and are the others of you hiding out back, or are you kind of like out in the open?
Oh, no. I'm around the corner. I don't want her to see me.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely not out in the open, but not exactly making excessive efforts to hide either.
Gotcha. Okay. So basically not in not in like plain sight. You're not standing right there with her kind of thing. How about Agluis?
Yeah.
Since Agluis is out back there as well.
Oh, he's just simply just standing around, smoking his pipe and just chilling. He's just enjoying the weather and waiting for something to happen.
Enjoying the weather. Well, the weather is flipping cold. Even your nose is beginning to get that numb feeling in the tip of it. But she looks over at Agluis as well and says, "You too. You go inside. You look frightfully cold." And she closes the door.
I gently knock on it.
Go around front, she calls through the door.
No. Excuse me, miss, excuse me. Could you let me through? I want to wash up. I really don't want to scare your clientele. I don't want to scare the people who are inside.
You won't scare anybody, dearie. Now go around front.
Very modest.
Go around front.
Can you please let me in to wash up, please?
No. She's no longer being nice. Now that no
Okay.
that she quipped out at you was definitely a little perturbed.
Okay, I tried.
Okay, so you guys are still outside. Do you want me to start passing the hours by?
Yeah, let's go ahead. I mean,
All right.
Sure.
For those of you who are outside, which would be Agluis and Bluemoon and Ariki, the 3 of you need to make me a Constitution saving throw. Seraphin, you have a feeling that if it weren't for some of the equipment that you have on you, you would be making this as well, as you watch your companions begin to freeze basically where they stand. It's cold outside. Ooh, Ariki failed. Agluis failed. Ah, Bluemoon succeeded.
Upon noticing this, that he's getting really cold, Agluis starts to produce flame.
Okay, well, produce flame is an instantaneous, really kind of thing. It's not really going to produce too much heat for you to actually warm up by. And with that failed saving throw, the two of you who failed get 1 point of exhaustion.
Seraphin kind of walks over to them. You know you could wait inside.
Yeah, we'll head inside.
All right, I'll keep watch out here.
Notify us if you can if something disturbing happens. I don't trust that cooking lady. Keep an eye on her.
I love my players. They trust absolutely no one. In the first episode, they didn't trust the old man that they brought home. In this episode, they don't trust the cook. This is awesome. All right. So you will go in the front, and as I said before, it just looks like a small town inn. Boden, you and Taharan have been sitting there warming yourselves and getting some wonderful food when you see Agluis and Ariki and Bluemoon come inside.
Agluis, how's the meat?
I couldn't find any. I was too busy standing outside freezing.
As you can see, the svirfneblin has gone from a nice stone gray color to this blue-gray of, like a frozen gnome standing in front of you. Even Ariki, who is used to being out in the wilds and being a scout and such, even she, her pale alabaster complexion is getting a very blue tinge to it.
So you're saying I'm a gnomesicle right now?
You are a gnomesicle, yes.
I sit on a different table. I pretend I don't know the guys that are already inside.
Okay, not a problem. You sit down at another table. We'll say it's been about 2 hours, Boden, that you have been sitting inside with Taharan. The two of you have had some lovely food and some decent drinks. The cook, a woman, comes running in and out from the back every once in a while, and you hear her speak to Cooper, who is her husband, who's the innkeeper, a number of times. One time she came in and said that there was a woman out back begging for food, and she had a gnome. And he goes, really? There was a gnome out here? I mean, the two of them had a little, discourse, and she went back into the other room. But at this point is where this woman comes back in. Her name is Anne. Boden and Taharan would know that her name is Anne, as they've heard the discussions back and forth. And Anne comes back in and notices Bluemoon sitting by herself. Oh dear, you finally came inside.
Yes, lady. Thank you. It is lovely in here.
And honestly, it's just a rustic, normal inn of any kind.
I don't care. I'm trying to be nice.
Okay, not a problem. She does bring over food for you. And
I would like something really, really hot. I'm frozen.
Sit by the fire. Sit by the fire.
But there is no space by the fire.
You really want to get scared of her?
That was out of character. Cause
I know.
Didn't hear anything, but yeah, it'd be funny.
Ah, it's a woman. And you run away. Okay. So, all right. So, but she does deliver food. She gives you something to drink. Nice warm tea. It's not hot. It's just warm. Same thing with the others. She serves you food on plates, a little meat platter with some vegetables and such, some bread, some cheese. It's a good meal. I mean, for the looks of the place looks, as I said, rustic, which is a nice way of saying kind of a dive, but only because it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. The food is amazing. The drinks, not the greatest, but serviceable. Meanwhile, outside, Seraphin, you see very little of anything. There's not really much of anything going on. A couple of kids get called inside for, wash up for dinner kind of thing. You see a couple of farmers walking into a house after a long, hard day's work. It's pretty obvious that they're on their way home. But the sun is beginning to set.
Finally, so not much longer. Hopefully this guy shows up. And there's snow outside, right?
Oh yes, there is a lot of snow outside.
Start making a little snow tiefling.
I'm sure you're probably on your 4th or 5th by now. It's been hours. Many, many hours. 4 to 5 for everybody. And Agluis, I'll let you know, your grease spell, of course, is long since gone. And a single farmer walks in and sits down at a table.
Does it really go away, or does it like soak into the ground?
It just vanishes. That's what happens when the spell runs out. It just basically vanishes. Since it's only a spell duration of a minute, and that was 4 to 5 hours ago.
Yep.
So the farmer, he comes in. Cooper comes over to him, talks to him for a few minutes. You overhear the conversation very easily. They're not really being quiet. It was the damnedest thing I'd ever seen in my life. A whole herd of horses showed up in me fields, and there was some poor bastard tied to a tree.
We forgot about him. I wonder if he froze to death.
Apparently, the farmer had found him before he froze to death, and brought him in for some broth and to make him feel better.
Another reason why we should have killed him.
So, all right. So there you are, ladies and gents. You are inside the Twin Forks Inn. There is a single farmer there. There's Cooper. There's Anne, and you guys.
Excuse me, Mrs. Lady, can I have another hot soup, please?
She brings another one out to you.
And I'm pretending to be busy with the soup.
Okay. You continue doing that. Meanwhile, Ariki and Agluis, the two of you have your exhaustion wear off, as you are now warmed by the fire. But, to be honest, nothing seems to be happening. Outside, Seraphin, there is nothing happening outside. It's beginning to get dark. Fires are beginning to spring up in the houses around. You can see lights being lit. Smoke begins to curl from additional from additional chimneys around town. But otherwise, it's a clear night, and frost and snow are settling on everything, including you.
Okay. Did I do direct dealings with Lothar? Do I know what he looks like?
You do.
So it doesn't look like he's coming in anytime soon. So I'm going to go ahead and start walking around trying to find him, because it's dark out now. And kind of be a little peeping Tom and look into people's windows.
Okay. Inside town, as you wander around, I'll say this takes you roughly an hour. So you guys have been in town now for 6 by the time this is done. Why don't you give me an investigation check in the tower, please, Seraphin? Okay, thank you. You wander around town. You do not see Lothar anywhere. And out of the buildings that are in town, you think you probably poked your head into probably at least a dozen windows that were unshuttered and had like curtains open kind of thing. You poked your head into windows quite a bit. You didn't see a single one. Out of those, maybe 2 or 3 of those houses look like they haven't had anybody in them for some time.
Okay. You said, huh. Was there like furniture or anything else in those houses? The ones
There was
that didn't
furniture
have...
and such, yes. Some, various states of repair or disrepair, as the case may be. Some of the houses looked like they'd been empty for, well, one house looked like it was empty for months. Another of the 3 looked like it had been vacated recently, but there's a frost on things on the inside, so it obviously had been before the winter. And the third one looks like, there was a couple of things that were overturned inside. It looked like somebody was like an absolute slob who lived there.
The last house. Let me see if I can break into that one.
Okay. All right, so you start fiddling with doorknobs and such. You discover that the windows and door is locked. It is a single-story house.
Does this door face towards like the rest of the town, or does it face towards the outside of the town?
It faces the town. The door for this actually it's a porch. Here, I can actually share a map. And I'll put you on the map. There you go. As you can see, they head to the south. The road that goes to the south, that goes back to town. And there is this house. The door is right there.
And is this map correct? Is there like a cellar there on the side?
Yes. Which, when you walked around it to begin with, it was also locked. There's a padlock on the outside of it.
And where was the window?
There are multiple windows. You can probably see them on... Let me open up a little bit more on the map. You can be able to see a little bit better.
I think the only visible window is the one to the south.
So there's one in the south wall. There is 2 on the porch that face south. There's 1 on the west wall. And there's 1 to the north, and then a door going to the north.
Let me go to that back door.
All right, so there's a door.
Right there.
All right, so you go back here to the back door.
And I am going to go ahead and try to open this, or even use my little thieves tool and see if I can lockpick it.
Okay, then go ahead and give me a thieves tool proficiency. The door is locked.
Oh, I didn't make that. So what would you want me to roll instead?
Do a proficient dexterity.
It's going to say acrobatics, but I mean...
Yeah, it's going to be the same thing.
And I'll make one for thieves tool in a second.
Not a problem. All right, so you start tickling at the lock, and surprisingly, by looking at it, you would say it's a pretty shitty lock. But for some reason, it's a lot more complicated than the initial lock appears.
Okay.
Would it need a wizard's touch?
We have no idea where she went.
Yeah, at the moment, nobody has a clue where she went. She's all by her little self. I don't know, did I take the safeties off of the adventure? Because if I did, she's all by her little lonesome and could possibly get jumped by something that would be for a party of 5 of you.
Maybe she should think about the group at this moment.
Well, as far as I know, it's an abandoned house.
Correct. And you're smart enough to understand that the lock that is on this house is far more complicated than a simple farmer would put. And it's disguised to look like a typical everyday, farm town house. It's not it. This is definitely a lot more to it.
Okay. So once realizing that there's something kind of odd about this house, I'm going to go ahead and stop trying to mess with the lock and possibly get some backup. So walk back towards the inn, see if I can kind of, from the window, see if I can kind of catch somebody's eye and give them that whole, you need to come over here right now.
All right, so you are, I would say, 99.999% convinced that you have found Lothar's house. So I can share you the GM map for the moment. All right, you see where the inn is? You see where the house is.
Okay.
Yes, that is how far away you are from everybody.
Not very far at all.
Not very far at all. So, going over and attempting to get their attention. Let's see. Ariki, you will definitely notice Seraphin outside. She's trying to get everybody's attention inside. And Seraphin, please roll me an insight check in the tower.
She definitely has my attention because we have traveled together. So I assume we got to know each other a little bit better.
Yes. However, she's outside the window right at the moment. Actually, I'll allow all of you a perception check to notice Seraphin outside trying to wave at you.
What does the tower?
And
you can do it out in the open. That's absolutely fine.
I will give Ariki. I will give a whistle that I'm used to giving for hey, give me your attention. It's kind of soft and high pitched, something that if you know what it means, you'll pay attention to it. But if you don't know what it means, you're as likely to ignore it as to pay attention.
Gotcha. Not a problem. All right, so you do a low whistle, which probably is what prompts the perception checks out of everybody else. And thus far, everybody seems to notice that Seraphin's outside. So I will say 3 of you have noticed, so I will say the entire party has noticed. That Seraphin is trying to get you guys to come outside.
I will pay for my food and I will pay compliments to the cook, telling her that her food is excellent and probably she is a master in the kitchen.
She'll blush
and I will
and such.
thank her for her kind words and her kind attitude, and I will leave through the front door.
Awesome. By the way, the food and the dinners and the drinks that you've all had so far only cost 5 copper pieces.
Okay. I will nod at Seraphin to acknowledge that yes, I've seen you, and then I will wait until the rest of my party gets up and heads towards the door before I follow.
Okay.
Silently, of course.
Of course.
Agluis slips the innkeeper a silver coin.
He smiles and takes it, bites it. Are you folks leaving for the evening?
I expect you have rooms for us, yes?
Well, we have a fair number of rooms that have nobody in them. If you wish to have one, yes.
We'll likely be back for them.
How much for the rooms?
Oh, the rooms are cheap. They're only a silver piece a night.
And then Agluis flips him 5 silver pieces.
Oh, thank you kindly, sir.
Boden head outside, attend the warhorse a little bit, and then go off to see what's going on.
Alrighty, so, Seraphin, what would you like to do? Are you going to lead them back over to Lothar's house, or what are you going to do?
Kind of do both. So leading them back to the house, I'm going to be mentioning, so this place is pretty standard. There's nothing special about this place, except when I was doing a little bit of investigating, I found one house that sort of screams abnormal. As in, it's deceiving us with its plain, shabby outward looks.
So, what's special about it?
The fact that I can't break in because there's something...
Wait, why are you breaking into people's houses?
It's investigating. You have to look into people's houses to see what's going on. Plus, there's a lot of overturned stuff in here, and I thought maybe there was somebody who was hurt, or maybe robbed, or trying to get out of town quickly, maybe left some clues behind.
Maybe a dragon hoards of gold inside.
Would you mind showing us the house?
Of course.
But you didn't see anybody hurt?
I didn't get a chance to because, like I said, when trying to open the doors, the locks seemed to want to keep me out.
All right, let's go look.
And option 2 was breaking windows and,
Exactly.
How about if there is a cellar? Shall we try to go through the cellar?
Upon hearing this, Agluis casts Detect Magic.
Okay. You cast Detect Magic. Alright, so all of you are on the other map now. You are on the map out in front of Lothar's house. Ariki disappears into the shadows.
And my warhorse will still be watching the front of the inn.
That's fine. It's, as I said, it's a very, very short walk. I mean, it's right down the road. It's a kitty corner to the inn. It's really not very far away. What you see is you see some tracks in the snow, which must be from Seraphin, that go around the house. Other than that, the house looks dark. It's a single story. There's a chimney that pops up out of the east wall. And not much of anything else.
I would like to follow in Ariki's steps and go around the house.
Here, I just opened the chimney so you guys can see it. Okay, so you start wandering around the house. That's fine. Go ahead and drag your characters around where you'd like them to go. And Arika, you can go ahead and do a stealth check if you would like to disappear into the shadows.
In the tower or in the open?
Why don't you do it in the open?
I see a cellar door. Can I try to see if it's locked?
Sure. Okay, I'll move you right over there by it. It's obviously locked when you walk up to it. It very, very obviously is locked.
Can I try to unlock it?
Yes, you can try to unlock it by rolling a Thieves' Tool proficiency, which is basically a proficient dexterity check. And Agluis, what would you like to do?
I'm sorry. I was just wondering if I had detected anything with my detect magic.
I will tell you if you do, other than the player characters.
Okay.
Good lord, a 31 stealth check. Holy crap. You sneak up on your own self.
Roll proficient dexterity.
Okay. Let's see, at 10th level you have a +4. So you can type it in the modifiers down below if you want to, or I can actually make you a skill.
Okay, and then roll straight dexterity. Yeah,
Yep.
straight dexterity, right?
Yep. Very good. Alright, you find the same thing Seraphin found earlier, that this lock is far more complicated than its appearance makes it look.
Does she describe that to the group?
Guys, this lock, it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. It's more complicated. It's not as simple. Do you sense any magic coming from it?
There is no magic coming from it.
Then Agluis will use knock on it.
Alright, spend the spell slot. Okay, so you cast knock, and the lock clicks open.
Okay guys, I think we should go in through the cellar, and I want to be stealthy. Let's all try to be stealthy, please.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, everybody can roll me a stealth check if they'd like. Other than Ariki, because Ariki, your stealth has yet to be broken, so you will keep the 31 for right now.
Boden just kind of laughs and says, okay.
Yeah, there's a few of you who should be laughing at the idea of stealth, especially if you're wearing any sort of heavy armor. Wow. Wow. Okay.
I don't feel very stealthy.
Does my stone camouflage benefit in this area?
Nope. So far, we have a 2 and 2 9s. And a 3. Wow. Wow. Now, Ariki, from your vantage point, you know, in a bush nearby, they're all like, all right, let's be stealthy, as they yell and stomp and such, as they begin to file down this little ladder into this very small root cellar. When I say very small, the 4 of you are taking up the space of the root cellar.
I think Ariki just hand-palmed.
Yeah, Boden takes one kind of tiptoe steps and then forgets he's stealthy.
You probably tried to tiptoe and ended up like missing your footing on the ladder and sliding halfway down is what had happened.
I have a real quick question. I have something like an armor next to my stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean I have like disadvantage on stealth checks?
No. Matter of fact, you rolled it without disadvantage, so you're absolutely fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you just happened to roll a 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But be that as it may, the 4 of you go down into the basement, which, as I said, a very small root cellar, to the point where Boden and Seraphin and Bluemoon, the 3 of you are actually kind of ducking your heads not to hit it on the rafters of the house above you. Of course, Agluis, you're absolutely fine. You're like, oh, this is like being at home. It's a dirt, crawl space. It's 10 foot by 10 foot, maybe 5 feet and change tall. There's some really crude shelves that are down here with some spider webs and old bits of like farming equipment and like some old seeds and the stuff you'd find typically like in an old basement. That's what you find. Now, if any of you wish to look for a secret door of some kind, or some sort of trap door or something, by all means, you can roll either perception or an investigation at advantage in the tower.
I would like to do that. Investigation or
Perception. Lots of dice being thrown. Alrighty, so you look around, and between the four of you, you are able to determine there is absolutely no way out of this room other than the way you came in. There is no secrets of any kind.
that's not possible.
No one to help here. Boden just heads out.
Seraphin, I think, had about the same idea. She goes back to the back door.
Okay. Now can someone open this back door, please?
So, for all intents and purposes, this little square that I'm putting over here, that's the basement. There you go. Two of you are still in the basement. The other two of you are outside, and Ariki is still hiding in a bush.
I'll pop out. I have no idea where Ariki is, and I'm just like, if you hear me, I think there's something wrong with this server. There should be another way in the house.
Okay, so at the back door, there you are.
So there are absolutely no other doors.
There's a front door.
In the cellar.
And the cellar. But there's nothing in the cellar. I mean, there is no doors in the cellar of any kind. No trap doors, nothing.
Agluis comes out as well.
Alrighty. Give me a moment. I'm adding a Thieves' Tool proficiency to Bluemoon's sheet. There we go. There. So you now have the Thieves' Tool proficiency on your character sheet and skills. Alright, so Agluis comes out as well. Alright, so you're all at the back door. I've been promising all of my players for all of my games one day I would make an entire dungeon of nothing but effects and like terrain, because for some reason terrain, doors, bridges, they're always a thing that defeat player characters.
Mostly doors.
Yep, mostly doors.
So, not over to Agluis. You want to do that thing again with the door?
Yeah, I can do that. Knock, knock.
Knockety, knockety. Alright, so you knock on the back door, and it not only unlocks, but the door pops open. Inside, you see a large room that's pretty disheveled. It's dirty. There's old food stuff, and it looks pretty ramshackle. You see that there's an archway that goes that direction. Other than that, you'd have to investigate the room to get any more information out of me.
Does it look like there might have been any sort of a struggle, or is just unkept?
Why don't you give me an insight check on that? Damn. Okay. Boden, you feel that it looks like somebody left here quickly. That's what you feel. Agluis, you determine from your vantage point outside that you don't really see anything of any value inside. There is a set of stairs that seem to go up on the south wall.
Let me guess with them. Nothing.
Not from outside.
I gotta go inside.
So, okay, so Seraphin comes inside. It's cold in here. Frost has begun to start creeping across some of the furniture and the rotting food and such that is inside the house. And when I say rotting food, it's like somebody like half ate a dinner plate of food and just kind of like threw it off to the side kind of thing.
Okay, so Agluis is now inside. He's going to do an investigation on the inside.
Okay. Still absolutely nothing of any value.
Boden will go peek through the arch.
On the other side of the arch, you find a really crappy-looking kitchen.
Hey, Boden just shrugs and starts walking out. There's no one here.
As my fantasy grounds comes to a crawl for a minute.
I see somebody actually typed in chat. I'm sorry, I was not reading chat. Hey there, Mumi team or something? No, Muty team.
Alright, so Seraphin and Boden start heading for the stairs, which there's a little trap door at the top of the stairs. Right there. That kind of goes up into a trap door. That's what that little square is. Ariki moves into the room. Okay.
So, do you want to try opening the door?
Sure.
All right. I kind of lean against the stairs to let Boden pass.
Okay. Boden, you go up to the top, and it really doesn't require too terrible much from you. It's a little trap door that's in the ceiling. And you push it open, and it goes into the attic crawl space. Up there, you see, old bits, broken furniture, other little crappy items that you would find in an attic. Stuff that somebody at one point in time thought, I can do something with this later, and has since just left to be up there. You might hear the coo of a pigeon or maybe the scurry of a rat as well.
All right. He seems satisfied with his peek up there and just turns around and goes back down. No one needs help here. We should leave.
Okay. Agluis, as I said with the main room, this other room, at the same time, definitely has nothing in it of any value. The food looks despicable, what's left of it. And it doesn't look like somebody has eaten here often. But
is the cheese old and moldy?
There's not even cheese here. That's how bad it is. Now, before we go too much further, what I would like is two rolls out of each of you. I would like a perception check in the tower, and, well, except for Ariki, and an initiative. Now, Ariki, you don't have to do perception because you can choose. You can either roll your perception or you can use your passive perception. I'll allow you that choice, since you have an, oh my god, my passive perception is so high. And I just need Bluemoon's initiative, which is on the main tab of your character sheet.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So,
All right.
brave initiative.
Yep. Alright, so Seraphin, you're the first one to go. As you're coming back down the stairs, you think you can hear a commotion outside.
Okay, so I will go ahead and move right here and look out the window.
All right, you look out the window, and I'm going to give you two things. First thing is you see a large group of people outside, led by these two. The second thing is, let me open the tokens. There you go.
Okay. Shit, there's company.
Okay, that's all you do is, oh shit, there's company.
And then, because I still have movement left, I will move towards the back door.
Okay. No time for love, Dr. Jones.
Does she warn us at all?
Yeah, she said,
Yeah.
oh shit, we have company.
Yeah, does she say how many?
No, I didn't hear a number.
Nope. I just said there's company.
All right, Seraphin, if you're all done, be sure to advance your turn. All right, we'll skip over our guys outside for a moment. Boden.
All right, hearing that, does my warhorse see anything or let me know anything's going on?
Nope, your warhorse, as you said, was staying at the inn. That is a far way away from here.
All right, then Boden assumes it's outside and will rush outside.
Okay, you're going to take a dash action to go outside?
No, it's going to go out there, and he isn't necessarily expecting trouble, but he'll, not knowing what to expect, he'll just dodge.
Okay. All right, so you start going out the back door. You leap over the banister of the stairway and kind of run out the back door. Ariki, you are next.
Okay. I'm here, they are there. Hang on, give me a moment to figure out my movement before you move me.
Not a problem.
And apparently that did not work very well.
Yeah, I moved her out of your way so that way you could do it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
So I'll move her out of the way. I'll move Boden out of the way until I get done with your movement, and then I'll move him back.
Now, where is the end of my movement? There it is. Yeah. And now I want to go over there.
So you're going to kind of move and wiggle your way over there?
I'm thinking about it, but I want to draw some sight lines first. Come on. I can draw sight lines, can't I?
I don't know, can you?
Okay, yes, I can. It is not terribly happy with me, but I can do it. Okay. I would like to move out to about there at the end of my movement. And then I believe I still have an action left because a double move is a bonus action for me if I want it to be.
Yes.
Do I want to shoot them yet? All my companions are inside. I do not want to shoot them yet.
Okay.
Do I need to reroll a stealth?
Moving like that, definitely, yes. You would definitely have to re-roll a stealth at this point.
All right, in the tower or in the open?
You can do it in the open.
Oops. Forgot
I'll
I don't
take your
need
first
to
one.
Yeah.
So a 22.
All right, and I believe that will, if I can bring up the correct window, that will end my turn.
Awesome. Agluis, just as a reminder, you haven't used any charges on anything. So, all right.
So I have
Agluis,
full charges for spells for the staff?
For the staff, yeah.
Okay.
And it is your turn, Agluis, so...
Agluis. Oh, is there... was I able to see if one of the doors are unlocked or broken into in front here where I was at first?
The only door that is here is that one right there, and nobody's approached it. Yep.
Yeah, let's approach that first. See if I
Okay.
can notice it.
All right, so you go out in the other room and take a look at it. It looks like it's still closed and such.
And I pull it open?
It is locked.
Okay, then I will finish my movement out the back door.
Okay, please note, you do have a speed of 25, so doing this last 25 feet would be a dash action for you.
And then I will dash out to your side as well.
Okay.
I'm contemplating whether to leave them a present in sight or not.
Awesome. All right, so Agluis, if you are done, you can go ahead and advance your turn. And we'll move on to Bluemoon. Oh, Miss Moon, it is your turn.
Yeah. What would you say, guys? Leave them a present or not? Nah, it's better not. And I take an action and like double movement.
Okay.
Oh wait, I can with normal movement I can go outside, right?
Yep. Because at the moment, nobody in the doorway is actually in combat, so therefore it's not difficult terrain yet.
I'm still contemplating whether to light the room in little twinkle fires.
Well, it's entirely up to you. Do you wish to do anything else or no?
No, I'll stay there for now and I will prepare an action that if I see... No, actually, I want to run further away.
Okay. So you're going to use your action as a dash.
Yes.
Okay. Let me guess, you're going to come over here and jump on the bush?
Yeah, I'll do hide on bush.
Alright, so you're going to run over, you jump in the bush. You'll be able to roll your stealth check next round as an action.
Okay.
Alright, you can advance your turn as well on the combat tracker. Or do you need me to do it for right now?
I have no idea how to do it.
Okay. The crossed swords in the upper right-hand corner of Fantasy Grounds, that is your combat tracker. Go ahead and pop that open.
Yes, I have it open.
Okay. The dragon head that is on the combat tracker at the bottom, that has a little down arrow.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Alright, back around to the new round. Alright, so outside, the man who is standing there, he starts yelling at the house. I don't know why you're here after the boss, and I don't care. The boss don't like you. He said we should take care of you. But me, I'm a nice guy. I'll make you an offer. You can drop all those fancy weapons, strip out of that nice armor, and walk away from this. Or me and the boys will chop you into stew meat. What do you say?
Agluis seems kind of excited over this proposition. And he just grabs his staff and smiles.
Okay. So, Bluemoon, it is your turn first. Do you wish to hide in the bush?
Yes.
Okay, you can roll me a stealth check.
How do you handle dialogue in combat turns?
I allow a fair amount of dialogue. If you're going to do a soliloquy, let me know, because that'll be an action. But otherwise, I'll allow a little bit.
Out of turn, or you have to wait for your turn?
You can do it out of turn as well.
In open or in the tower?
You can do it out in the open. I'm fine with that. Excellent. Thank you very much. And as a note, for those of you who don't have some certain rogue abilities which allow you to do extra things, stealthing automatically makes you move at half. If you move more than half your speed on your movement, you will break your own stealth.
Okay.
So, otherwise, Bluemoon has just ducked into a bush, and she is now one with the bush. If you have nothing else, dear, you can go ahead and advance your turn.
I'm not sure I picked my divine weapon.
Your divine weapon?
Yeah, it should be. Whatever the cleric has, that you can summon a weapon, define the shape, and attack as a bonus action with it.
Oh, you're talking about spiritual weapon. Oh, that's...
Yeah, spiritual weapon.
Yeah. So do you want to cast that?
Yep. But you said I will do action as hide, so I will... Can I cast it as a bonus action?
Spiritual weapon? Let me check. I think it's an action. Yeah, you can cast it as a bonus.
I just wanted also to be hidden behind me in the bushes.
Okay. So you want it to be hidden in the bushes with you. So let me give you a token. That little S that's right next to you is your spiritual weapon. You can move that around like you would move yourself around.
Okay.
But she could conjure it 60 feet away from her to begin with, couldn't
Yes,
she?
she can, but she said she wanted it in the bushes with her. So...
I'm hiding.
Yeah, she's hiding. She doesn't want it to pop out. Not yet.
Not yet. You know, it's gonna be a surprise when a soul weapon just like from the air just drifts towards you and attacks you.
Exactly. So, alright, you can go ahead and advance your turn then. Alright, so none of the these Arthur's boys seem to be moving. They're all just staring at the front of the house, for those of you who are outside and can see around the corner and such. So, Seraphin, it is your turn. You just heard Arthur yell from the front.
This pompous ass thinks we're going to surrender. That's hilarious. I'd rather cut his throat right now.
Awesome.
So with that, go ahead and move. And just get out of the house for now, and yeah, that'd be it for right now.
Okay. Considering Arthur's boys are absolute idiots and have yet to see anybody leave the house, it is Ariki's turn.
The other plan, I mean, if they don't notice that we're out here, just walk away like it never happened.
Okay.
Yeah, Boden's kind of motioning, just head away from the house.
Yeah. That is kind of what I am thinking as well.
Maybe to set the house on fire.
Wow.
What? It's Lothar's house.
It is Lothar's house. And those are Lothar's men.
But, led by a guy named Arthur, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of sneak around to the other side of the tree.
Okay, before you do that, I would like you to please roll me a perception check.
Tower or no tower?
No tower on this one. Do it right out in the open. Damn!
Nice.
Okay. Now, in the picture of Arthur and the woman and the other, Hanyaks that are outside, the woman that is in that picture, she, as you can see from your current vantage point with your special elfy eyes, you can see that she has a leather collar around her neck and does not appear to be very happy.
Okay.
Are you proficient in animal handling?
I am not.
Damn. Let's see if
I'm
we
not
are
sure any
proficient
of
in
us
animal-
are.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever a character in D&D's history that has ever been proficient in animal handling.
Hey now. Yes, there is.
Oh, is our paladin proficient in animal handling?
Of course.
Paladins often are. It does
Wow.
help with their paladins, druids, and some rangers. It does help with their special bonds.
Yes, it does. So, all right. So I will just leave that information there then, and I'll just leave it alone for a minute. So.
And yes, I am going to wait and see what my what the enemies and my companions end up doing. Because if my companions end up fleeing, I am definitely going to sneak after them. If my companions get spotted and we end up actually engaging in combat, I would like to stay and assist them.
Gotcha.
But at the moment, seeing as how we currently have no indication that any of us have been spotted, I am inclined to disappear and leave them wondering what happened.
All right. Also, from your perception check, you will also notice the fact that all of Arthur's boys and Arthur himself, they all have weapons in hand. They are definitely not here to play tiddlywinks. They're here to bash some freaking skulls. And so I just want to point that out, that you do see that they are aggressive. And we will go to Agluis next. Agluis, what would you like to do?
He's going to head out towards the tree for some cover. And upon doing that, seeing that I do see that there's scary dudes out there that are being aggressive, right?
Yes. So before you get all that far, okay, you get to about the bush when you start seeing people from around the corner. Now, they're not really paying attention in this direction at the moment, but since you are 10th level, all of you are, you will know that if you pass that bush without stealthing, they will see you. You know that. So do you wish to continue doing your full move? That's what I thought.
Yeah, there's more space in the bush next to me.
Everybody's going to hide in the bush.
I'm debating about if we want to do an ambush or not.
Well, they obviously knew you guys were in the house. And that is as much as I can give you at the moment.
Okay, so if I'm hidden behind the bush, they wouldn't be able to see me because I'm deep into the bush, but I could launch a fireball without getting detected. Correct?
You have a possibility of doing so, yes.
Okay, that works enough for me. But firstly, I'm going to cast Greater Invisibility.
Greater Invisibility on yourself? Alrighty, yep. Go ahead and target yourself and cast your Greater Invisibility. Awesome.
Now that I'm invisible, I'm just going to move up the last 10 feet. Nobody can see me.
Very good. That's perfect. Boden, you are next, sir. You are standing in the doorway, the back door of this place. You have heard Arthur yell his challenge to all of you to lay down your arms and armor, and you can walk away.
I'd like to command my warhorse to come around behind them so I can get a gist of how many there are.
Okay. It will be about 2 rounds before the warhorse gets here to be able to see that for you.
Really? What happened to the whole it's catty-cornered to the inn thing?
It is, but it's still, quite a ways away. I mean, well, quite a ways, quote-unquote, in feet.
For a horse? All right.
Well, here, let's assume that your horse is right here on this map, on the black and white map. So each one of these squares is 10 feet. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 feet. So next round.
Okay, he doesn't move on my round?
I mean, you'll send out your call, and he'll start moving now. So next round, when it's your turn, he'll be coming up his last few feet.
All right, sounds good. And he's going to start moving back along the river, heading away.
Oh, okay. All right, so
he'll only take a single move. He doesn't want to get too far from the rest of the group. Gotcha. And he kind of waves everybody back.
Okay, not a problem. All right, so Arthur is still standing out, challenging you. Says basically all to the gist of, come out wherever you are, trying to taunt you guys to come out. Ariki, you're first. Now you are seeing the fact that Boden is backing off.
No reason to fight here. Retreat.
And I am going to, I see Boden is backing off. Seraphin seems to be staying put. Bluemoon seems to be staying put and probably is seems to be preparing for action. And Agluis has vanished.
Walked into the bush and never walked out.
Yes, so as far as I know, he's staying put in the bush. Although knowing he uses magic, for all I know, he could have turned himself invisible and gone anywhere he wanted.
Or teleported away, yep.
Precisely.
Different plane of existence.
So again, I am going to hold until either we get attacked or my party moves away.
Gotcha. And for all intents and purposes, all right, where Boden is, where he's kind of like half in, half out of the map, that would be considered running away. So if anybody else moves into a square like adjacent to Boden or something like that, where they're mostly off the map, in that case I'll say you are leaving the map, that you want to run away.
Do we want to confront them or we want to run away?
Well, with the paladin backing off, who knows?
Boden did say he doesn't think there's a reason to fight and that we should back off.
That is true. So, Ariki, you can go ahead and advance your turn. I will skip on down to Boden. Now, Boden, at this point, I would like a animal handling check out of you. This is not for your warhorse, because you automatically do that. This is for what the warhorse sees. It's actually a piece of information versus anything else. Wow, an 8. I can't do a lot with an 8. But you see the collar as well. Actually, yeah, because it's actually a relatively easy thing for you to understand. And you're getting a gist of it through your horse. The collar that the woman is wearing is used in training animals.
Interesting. All right.
So that's what you see. The horse is staying relatively down the road a little ways. It's not like coming right up to like, hey, what's going on here? You know, Mr. Ed is not going to be speared in the face. Ooh, though your warhorse does notice that the man who's commanding everything and yelling and shouting, this entire time he's taunting as well. He has a lit greatsword. His greatsword is lit on fire.
Agluis says they're holding a person captive because it looks like she's a slave.
Actually, you can't see that from there. The corner of the house gets in the way.
And the horse can relay generally how many there are?
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
definitely seems like a good time to retreat for now.
Yeah, right now the odds against you are 4-1, unless you include the horse.
Underestimating the power of an evoking wizard.
Alright, so Boden, do you wish to do anything else, or are you just going to escape?
I'm waiting there until the rest of the party leaves. So I would be the last one out, but I'm waving them back.
Okay, so you're basically holding an action to kind of go last on purpose kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay, not a problem. Agluis, it is your turn.
Well, seeing that Boden wants to leave and he doesn't want to fight this, I will cast Wall of Fire from the bottom corner house diagonally 60 feet.
Wow, okay.
That poor tree.
That tree's going to go up like a freaking cotton ball.
I think the house will get affected as well.
Alright, so
I
you're
hope
basically
so.
drawing it right there, like I have there, and like that little line that you had drawn before,
Yeah, but not actually touching the house.
but not touching the house. Okay. Alright, not a problem. Kind of like this, or about halfway up the space, or something like that.
Yeah, diagonally 60 feet.
Alright, so, and that'll go, of course, way off the map. So, it's not touching the house, so it won't burn the house, but at the same time, it's close enough to the house that they're not going to be able to skirt past it. Which direction are the flames going to be pointing? Because you get to choose a side. The hot side stays hot, and the cold side stays cold.
Well, their side should stay hot.
Okay, just asking. You never can tell. Alright, so their side will be hot. Can you please target boy number 2 and roll a saving throw for him and then give him some damage, because he is definitely well within the range of that 5 foot. I once had a group of players blow up an airship with a wall of fire. He fails. Very badly does he fail.
And this is a 7th level spell, like the fireball would have been.
Yes, it should be noted on your sheet. Oh, dear God.
Instant death. I love it.
Instant death. Where is this damn staff? There it is.
How long does that wall last?
That wall lasts quite a while. Why did you roll 8d8 for that? It only does 5d8.
Yeah, but you said it was a 7th level spell.
No. It goes by whatever the staff is. So everything is already pre-coded on your sheet. So yeah, it's 5d8.
Oh, okay.
But still, I mean, you still incinerated the guy no matter what.
Agluis does hint that these guys are pretty dang weak. And we could definitely take them, especially with this wall of fire in the way. We can shoot them like fish in a barrel.
That is true. You could.
What happens if they decide to go the other way around?
Well, we shall find out, because
there are other things that could be used.
Yeah, I have this same spell, so we can make the house like a boxing ring, and all of them inside.
So, all right, so they start readjusting their positions as now that there's a wall of fire to kind of instigate everything. All right, you've made your choice. We'll come for it ourselves.
Could you resync the map? I don't seem to have any of the masks on there. Or rather, I can't see the map because of the mask.
There you go. I just resynced it for you. Alright, so a lot of these guys are not going to move anywhere close to that wall of fire, or the tree, matter of fact. As for some reason, my Fantasy Grounds is now deciding to load extra slow. Somebody opening up books.
Let me try and reconnect, because I'm not getting the mask at all.
Well, there's no mask actually on the map right now. It's entirely open.
All I see is gray.
Oh. There we go. All right, so Bluemoon, it is now your turn.
Bluemoon still looks confused because we were going to get back, but then we put this wall and the guy died.
Yeah.
Was that supposed to happen?
Yeah. We don't know.
I'm looking like both ways, like, guys, what are we doing? Are we fighting? Are we running? I'm waiting for a signal or something to know which direction to go.
Well, apparently the invisible gnome, which you saw the gnome come into the bush, you never saw him leave the bush, but you know he's not in the bush with you. There's suddenly a wall of fire there. You have no idea where it came from. And you heard somebody die on the other side. So that could be the signal.
For run or die? For fight, I mean?
You hear the disembodied voice of the gnome. Let's get them. Coming from nearby.
Okay. How much speed has my spiritual weapon? I think 20 feet, right?
I think it's 30.
They want my items. They want my armor and my weapon. They're gonna get that only if I let them.
Nope, you're right. It is 20 feet. Yep, you can move it 20 feet.
That's like my bonus action for my weapon.
Alrighty. So you float that over that direction.
Can I cast through the wall?
No.
So anything that I shoot won't pass through that wall?
It will not pass through the wall, no. Most spells require at least a line of sight on a creature.
Can I see that gap between the house? Like, if I position myself in an angle, would I be able to see at least a group of them and cast through that gap?
Through the gap, yes. Possibly. Depends on where you move. Actually, for example, the position that you're currently in, you can see number 31 all the way down on the bottom of the map. You can see that. The wall of fire does not stop your line of sight casting from this side, because from this side you can see through it. Not very well, but you can see through it. So
How about if I move right there under Agluis?
right where? I'm sorry. Oh, the black arrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have a lot more options if you move over there, yes. But by moving there, you're breaking stealth.
I will be breaking stealth if I cast a spell anyway.
That is true. So go ahead and move yourself to where you'd like to be.
I'm trying to delete the pointer.
There, I took the pointer away for you. There, I took the pointer right away, so that way you can just go ahead and grab your token and move wherever you'd like. And then if you target a person, it'll give you line of sight and stuff. Like, for example, that one has the corner of the building, so you're not going to hit him.
Okay.
Unless it's a saving throw. If it's a saving throw, then yes, you could. But if it's something like a firebolt or something that has an attack roll, you wouldn't be able to.
Fireball. I had an idea like casting it in the middle of them.
A fireball?
Yes, a ball.
Okay. Fireball is a 20-foot radius, so... Even though that says 15, that is actually 20 right there, because for some reason it does that. Like, for example, this one here is a heck of a lot bigger than 20. It's actually way bigger than 20.
Well, if I move like 2 or 3 squares, it still keeps saying 15.
Yeah, well, it says 15. Don't worry about the number. Just count your squares, because it'll work better that way. So... like that, right there. That's perfect, right there, like that. So you can go ahead and move it wherever you want. Because I honestly could tell you that if you moved it back to the south a little bit further, you'd probably catch more people.
Yeah. Do I catch all of this? Like even the guy on the border?
The only one you don't get is number 7. Yep, you don't get number 7 and you don't get number 6. But you get everybody else that's inside that circle.
Okay.
Alright, so you go to cast this spell. Alright, don't worry about targeting them. Don't have to worry about it at all. Because as you cast your fireball and it flies out at them, you see that the woman who's wearing the collar raises her hand and counters your spell.
Okay.
And if that's everything, you may go ahead and advance your turn.
I still have 5 feet of movement left, I think.
I believe you do, yes. So you can move your extra 5 feet.
Yeah, I'm trying to be out of sight.
Not a problem. And you nearly trip over the gnome.
Wow! I think I found something.
I found something. I don't know what it was. I just tripped over something. It was squishy, sort of. Alrighty, so Arthur's boys will continue moving this direction, trying to get ready for a nice battle. Seraphin, it is your turn.
Okay. Well, it looks like everybody wants to fight, so I might as well play with them. Alright, so I'll move there, on the other side of the well.
Okay.
And then I will toss up my rapier. That's my bonus action. Mumbling tiny dancer. And that activates my dancing rapier.
There you go. The little R is your rapier. I know, Agluis. You have nothing to worry about there.
The little rapier is going to move about right there.
Okay.
And it will attack number 11.
Excellent. Nice. Big damage, right off the bat.
Okay. Let's see. And then I still have my actual action.
Yep.
And since I can see number 11, might as well go ahead and throw a firebolt at him.
Awesome.
And miss. Okay.
Alright, back at the top. So the lady decides that she wishes to go. And she is going to do as she's been commanded to do. She will come over this direction. And can she see you through the gap? She can. Awesome. And she is going to fire magic missile at you.
And I will do shield.
Okay. So I'll take my 7 points off.
This Eldritch Knight is pretty clutch.
Yes, Eldritch Knights are amazing. They are nothing to freaking laugh at. I will tell you that right now. And given an opportunity to get moving, they deal out a shit ton of damage.
Sort of like a Jorgonaut, but with magic.
All right, so Ariki, it is your turn. Ariki?
Sorry, my finger slipped off the button. Can I see my target through the wall of fire? Or
Yes,
do I
you
need
can.
To...
Yep, you can see her.
Okay. Excellent. Then I will attempt to shoot her and see if I can hit.
Ouch!
Right.
You hit her.
Max damage. Excellent.
Nice.
And
Nice
then,
shot.
You should have had advantage on that to begin with because you were stealthed, and then don't forget you also have your sneak attack.
Okay, if I have advantage, then let me just roll that again. Make sure it's not a crit.
Not a crit.
Not a crit. Okay, and then I have that much.
15 more points. Yikes.
Yeah, that's pretty ouch. That is pretty
Nice
out.
shot. Yeah, she has an
You
arrow
could
buried
apply
deep
that
in her
to
shoulder.
her. All right. And then I would like to stealth.
You only have one attack?
As far as I can tell,
I'm not sure if
far
the
as I can
scout gave you
tell,
more than one or not.
Yeah, no, in Unearthed Arcana it did, but apparently when they published it in Xanathar's, they took that out.
They took away the extra. Wah, wah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. But I can stealth now if I would like
Yes,
to.
you can.
Yes?
And
Okay,
poof.
not bad. All right, and you did drag the 15 damage
Yes, it did.
on her, right?
Yes, it did.
Okay, good. Then that will be my turn.
Excellent. Alrighty, the boys are lining up to have all sorts of hell rain down on somebody soon, but that wall of fire is definitely getting in their way. So this guy had moved already once, so he is realizing that he needs to go the opposite direction. Come on, boys, this way! And they'll all start going that direction. Because they are not running through a wall of fire like lemmings. Alright, so Boden, who is unable to see the map for some ridiculously oddball reason. I have no idea why.
Yep, nor do I. So I'm using the stream map for a little bit to see if I can do this.
Alright.
So he would like to move up to just along the wall of the building and inflame his weapon with sacred power.
Ooh.
And that's it.
Awesome. Alright, Agluis. Tiptoe, tiptoe,
And then
tiptoe.
Agluis says, "It's too late. You guys had your chance to surrender." And he launches a massive fireball from his
Awesome.
staff. So I need
From
one.
staff.
Yeah. I
Not
need
a problem.
a radius ring.
You want? Okay. You know, you can draw them yourself.
I've never done that before.
Okay.
So.
Right-click on the map. You'll see a little wheel come up. The arrow, those are your pointers. If you click on that, you'll see that there's a draw circle button.
Okay.
And once you click on that, then you can just go ahead and drag out a circle on the map. Cool. And then you just go ahead and tell me where you want it to be targeted.
Right there.
Right there? Okay, well, you'll miss number 6, but you will get number 31.
Okay. I'll hit them all.
Okie dokie. Go ahead and target them. Wow. It's going to be a few deaths here. Alright, so the lady is knocked right on her ass. There we go.
Just
That
a
is the
few deaths.
Yeah, that is the carnage that you have wrought in that area. Seraphin.
Well, boo. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, why not? I'm going to go ahead and use Misty Step.
Okay.
To get me on the other side of the wall of fire.
Okay.
Well, actually, Agluis opens up a pocket through the heat for our people to go through.
Oh.
Because you can sculpt spells.
Well, you can sculpt spells, but not your Staff of the Magi. You can sculpt your spells, but not the spells that come from an item.
Okay.
Okay, so Misty Step to there. That's my bonus act.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will go ahead and move up to attack number 6.
Awesome.
With the dancing rapier will come with me, because I'll grab it on the way.
Okay. Oh, so you're actually going to take it out of the air?
Yeah. So while I'm moving, it'll come. We'll grab it and move up. Okay. So go ahead and start attacking him with both my longsword and the rapier.
Awesome. That is a hit. He is dead.
Oh, no. Okay.
You still have 5-foot movement.
I do. So then I can take my second attack?
Yes, you could.
Awesome. Which misses, but that's okay.
Alright, now it's Bluemoon's turn.
Okay, I don't have a Misty Step or don't have any way to teleport, but I can also grab my spiritual weapon on the way.
Excellent.
Like, I'll move my weapon first over the wall so I can grab it while I'm passing by.
Alrighty. I'll say you grabbed it. I'll just keep it with you.
Okay, do I see boy number 7?
Let me see. Do you see him? Yeah, you can see him. What kind of unholy hell are you raining on him?
Close, I wonder if I see boy number 12.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
No?
Yes, you can see him.
I want to sacred flame him.
Awesome. Alright, go ahead and target him and cast your spell.
So that will give Seraphin an advantage.
If you hit, yes. Hey, he fails!
I don't have an attack for this spell. It should be 2d8, I think.
It's already coded in there for you.
Okay. Do I need to do something else?
Just make sure he's targeted. Now hit the damage button, and you should be good to go. It even has your potent spell casting in there.
It has only an attack, or not? No,
there's a damage right below it. Excellent.
That's my turn. I think my spiritual weapon has 5 more feet, so I will drag it 5 feet in front of me.
Excellent.
So now Seraphin can hit him a little bit more easy.
I hope.
I hope too. For some reason, that dragon doesn't want to go down.
There you go. I got it for you. Alright, so now that there is a target nearby that they can see and actually attack, this guy will whip around with his crossbow, and he's going to shoot at Seraphin. And misses. This guy is going to do the same. I have a feeling this is going to be very bad for me, where I don't get to attack anybody. Alright, so this guy, he's going to come up, and he is definitely going to start pounding on Seraphin. Takes out his great sword and he attacks you 3 times. Wow, my dice suck today. Do you have a reaction before I roll damage?
Not that's gonna. Well, no, not that's gonna negate damage.
And a miss.
But
Don't
my
you
sword of
have
answering,
flame
my last
something?
clip.
I'm sorry, what were you saying, Fate?
Hellish Rebuke as a tiefling is a reaction.
I do, yeah, but I have to take damage for that to activate. But my sword of answering will go ahead. I'll take my last clip, and because I took damage, I get to hit him with advantage.
Yep.
And it negates any immunities or resistances he has.
Yep. That's a hit. Nice damage. Ooh, thanks for that new follow. Alright, she is laying on the ground. She is going to make her saving throw. Alright, so this boy is going to attack Seraphin with a scimitar. Hits her! Holy crap, I hit you with one of these guys.
Boy number 12?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm surprised.
Would last quip happen every time, or...?
Only once per reaction.
Okay, and then... Can I take another reaction?
You only get 1 reaction per turn.
Okay.
So this guy is going to come over and around here, so he can get an advantage for flanking. And he is going to attack you with his scimitar. Hits! Agluis! Woohoo! There's another follow. Thank you. Alright, so you're moving up to the wall. I don't hear you, Bond.
So this would not hit Seraphin?
Nope. Does not.
Okay, but it would hit the Arthur, right?
It looks like it is, yes.
Okay, I'll light him up.
Okay. Give me a second before you roll. Let me just move her out of the way. Move him out of the way. Yep, you're hitting Arthur, but you're not hitting her. Okay, go for it. Dear Lord. Why are you rolling 12? Fireball shouldn't be that many. Is it really? Holy shit.
Yeah, with your staff?
Yeah, you're right. Okay, nope, you're absolutely right. I was like, holy shit, that is a lot of freaking dice for that. Holy crap. I'm used to the old way.
I think you're programming very much. Can I drop the wall of fire that I have up?
You can. You can dismiss it as a bonus action.
To dismiss the wall of fire.
You killed that lady, the magic lady?
I know. I just took her off the map is all I did.
Okay.
Oh, she failed all of her throws?
No, I just took her off the map for right now. She's still on the map.
Yeah, because I was going to stabilize her.
Oh, are you? Okay. So then I'll put her back on the map for you then.
Okay, how much more movement do I have left?
You move 20 to there. So you got 5 more. Oh my lord, my mouth stopped working.
That'll be it.
Okay. Alright, so Seraphin, it is your turn. You are surrounded at the moment by Arthur on one side of you, and one of his boys on the other.
Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Let me go ahead and take out the boy.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and attack him.
I'm just rolling dice in the background for something. Ah, yeah, he's dead.
Second attack is going to be on Arthur.
Alrighty. That did not hit.
And then I get one more attack.
Okay. That also did not hit.
Oh no.
Somehow I targeted myself, killed myself, and took off my invisibility.
I was wondering what was going on. Okay. I saw a lot of stuff going on.
I'm going to go ahead and use my inspiration to re-roll that.
Okay.
And it has no help whatsoever. Whatever.
None whatsoever. Nope. And Agluis, you can go ahead and put your invisibility back on yourself.
Okay.
Ariki, it is now your turn.
Okay, then I would like to not sure if that gives me, oh, it doesn't matter because, yeah, that doesn't, okay, and, okay, that's 20 feet.
There you go, yep, now you can see him.
Now I can hit him. I'm not worrying about stealth because I can tell that he's right next to one of my companions. So all I need to do is shoot at him and miss, unfortunately.
Yes, and you missed.
All right. Then that was 20 feet, 30, 40.
Now, to be honest, okay, just as full transparency at this level kind of thing, you have a move action, a bonus action with your cunning action to continue your move if you want to. You could have remained stealthed by utilizing your cunning action to move to get yourself down there far enough to see him.
That is true. I could have.
And you could roll that attack roll again to see if you hit him.
Okay, what I'm actually thinking is I'd like to move all the way to there. That's a 40 feet, I think.
Yep, it's total 40 feet. Yep, you move 20 and now 20 again.
And then stealth.
Okay. So you use your cunning action to stealth on this one. All right, so you got a 30. He ain't seeing nothing there.
Yeah, he ain't seeing nothing. And then
you
I
ain't seen nothing yet.
I think that's the end of my turn.
Yep. All right, so he is going to attack Seraphin again 3 times with his greatsword. Hits. Now, let's see if my coding worked properly.
Oh yeah, for the critical? Nope.
Yay! Yes, it did.
Oh, it did? Oh yeah, person resisted.
Yep, knocked off the extra 7, or was it the extra 8 points. And last attack is a hit. There we are.
All right, and then my reaction.
Yep, you can go ahead and utilize your reaction against him. Hits him. Nice. And it's now Bluemoon's turn.
I'm like, guys, maybe Arthur can tell us where Lothar is. Shall we keep him alive after we finish clearing up here?
Nope.
Yes, but I still want to find Lothar and get my items back and money.
Well, I do have to be honest and say that Lady Arcana, the woman who had the collar around her neck, she's currently unconscious on the ground. If somebody were to save her life, she may be able to help you.
She is unconscious, right?
She is unconscious at the moment, yes. She's failed one death save already.
I will use my movement with my stupid weapon in hand. And I will cast Spare the Dying on her.
Okay, not a problem. So that'll automatically stabilize her. So she is now stable, but she is unconscious.
And I will move my weapon 20 feet. I'm still not in range. Unfortunately.
Nope, not yet.
And the dragon, please.
Yep. Boden, it is your turn.
All right. From what I can tell, I can presumably go up through the door and down to the beginning of that green arrow.
Yes. Well, that's a window right there. So you want to kind of crash through the window like a Hey Kool-Aid moment?
No, to the beginning of that green arrow, and I want to throw a javelin at Arthur through the window.
Well, the window's closed, so you're going to break the window with the javelin is what you're saying.
Yep. Attempting to throw it hard enough to hit him.
Okay, that's
if
interesting.
Not, then not.
No, that's interesting. I'll actually allow this to possibly happen by rolling your attack roll at disadvantage. Yeah, I think that would be fair. Okay, so you did smash the window, though. So I will say that you did smash the window.
Okay. With that distraction, I yell out, Ariki, now's your chance. Take your shot. And use my superiority die to give her the chance to use her reaction to take an attack.
Ooh, there you go. Okay.
With D6 extra damage.
With a D6 extra damage. Plus, she has it at the moment. Nice. She has it. Let's see.
I have advantage, which gives me sneak attack.
Yes, which will allow you your sneak attack because you have not used your sneak attack yet. So let's see what this does. That's a hit. That is a lot of damage, and don't forget to roll an extra D6 for damage. Another 6. Holy crap!
Nice. Nice. Thank you very much, my friend.
And that concludes my turn.
Alright. At the top of the round, Ariki, it is your turn again. You're no longer stealthed.
Correct. But that's all right. I don't think I really need it. Do I want to or not? Yeah. I think I would like to use my cunning action to hide.
Okay.
No, I changed my mind. I would like to shoot him first.
Go for it. That is a hit.
Okay.
Now, since it is your turn now, that means your sneak attack has recharged.
Excellent.
Wow.
That evil.
Nice. I like the sneak attack. Okay, and then I would like to hide.
The precious. I like the precious.
All right.
Nice.
I am now attempting to hide from him. And
Excellent.
that will be my turn.
Alrighty. So it is now Seraphin's turn.
Okay, let's do some more slashing and piercings.
Uh-huh. That's a hit. Yeah!
Oh, come on. I gotta hit him some more.
You can if you want to. I mean, he's still standing
Yes.
there.
Might as well.
May as well hit him. There's a hit. Okay, you can hit him one more. I mean, it's up to you.
Why not? Because it's fun.
That's a hit.
I want to hit him too. Come on. I don't want to be shooting corpses.
Alright, so you start pummeling him on his way down.
I don't want to go on the record as just saying that I don't want to piss these ladies off in real life. It could be really bad.
Oh, you have no idea. Do you wish to do anything else, Seraphin?
I'm taking his sword.
Okay, well, he lands on the ground, and his sword goes out. Whoosh.
Oh, flaming sword. Nice.
It is now in the party sheet.
Awesome.
So if you wish to take it, you may.
Check if it's better than your rapier.
It's a flame-tongue greatsword. Yeah.
Heavy
Yeah,
two-handed
that's
sword.
two-handed. Yeah, that's the only thing I don't want to do. Is two-handed.
Oh, me neither. Not interested.
But I'll allow everybody to have their opportunities here till the end of this round, and then I'll clear initiative. Because who
Is the guy
knows?
dead?
Well, he's unconscious at the moment. Okay, so Lady Arcana is stabilized but unconscious. Arthur gets to roll his death save, his last death save. He has 2 failed already because Seraphin decided to pummel the living shit out of him on his way down. He succeeds at 1.
Oh shit! I should have kicked him one more time.
Yeah. Boden.
I know. I like your spots.
Still in motion from his last running charge, he runs out and dives through the window and rolls out to see what's going on and kind of see what the situation is.
Alright, so let's see how impressive you are at this. Why don't you roll me an acrobatics check?
Right. All right. Athletics, maybe?
Acrobatic.
Go in a window like that. Acrobatics.
Oh.
Wow.
There you go.
So not very graceful as you leap through the window and land on the ground and kind of spin your way up, and you're facing the wrong direction, and then you turn back around. And you're like, ha ha, kind of thing.
I love it.
Blue
I'm
Moon.
here.
Bluemoon, it is up to you. What would you like to do?
I would like to try to shoot him and use my crossbow, finally.
Oh, okay.
I am in range.
You are in range. Hold on. Wait. Not yet. I wasn't expecting somebody to actually shoot him. There. Now try it.
Why?
Because he's laying on the ground. Now try it.
Yeah. So, I'm not supposed to have disadvantage because he's unconscious.
Well, you have disadvantage because he's prone. And firing a ranged weapon at somebody who's prone is disadvantage. Then you have advantage because he's unconscious. So therefore you just rolled straight. So yeah, you hit him. So go ahead. You deal the final little bit of damage as you prick him in the top of his ear. Actually, how much damage are you going to roll? Just let me see how much damage you roll.
Not much.
Not much. Yeah, all you have to do is 1 point. It's not that big a deal. And he breathes his last as you put a dart into his neck. And he
Yay,
dies.
I managed to kill something. Yay!
She's so happy.
My fireball get cancelled. Of
Yes,
course
it
I'm
did.
happy.
Yes, it did. All right, do you have anything else you'd like to do, or do you want me to advance your turn for you?
I would like to give to Lady Arcana a minor healing word.
Okay. So be sure to target her, and then...
Oh, I think the minor one is like cure wounds or something.
What, a healing word? It's first level. It's a
Yeah,
bonus
cure
action.
wounds as well. I just don't find the dice for it.
If you open it with the magnifying glass on the right hand side, it'll drop down and you'll see the heal. It's a little plus sign.
Oh, right.
Excellent.
Doesn't it add my spellcasting bonus to it? It should be 2 plus 3.
Yeah, it should be plus 3. We'll fix that. Not a problem. So.
And when they have to roll against my spell DC, it's 15, it's not 12.
I know, we'll fix all that. Once we
Okay.
get everything fixed, it'll be fine. So, alright, so you still have movement if you want to use that, but she is now breathing comfortably. She's still unconscious, but her eyes are going to begin to flutter open as the end of the turn will come after Agluis goes. So if you have any movement you'd like to use, you may use that.
I pick up my spiritual weapon.
Okay.
Can I try to bind her hands?
Nope, you are out of actions.
Okay.
Agluis.
I was like, guys, come here. Help me bind her. She's stable now.
I will use detect thoughts.
Okay. Target her and roll her saving throw. You are unable to detect her thoughts. Okay, so that is the end of the round and the end of combat. I'm taking everybody out of combat order. And as we come around to the end of the combat round, slowly the woman on the ground who has this leather collar on her neck, her eyes begin to flutter open thanks to Bluemoon curing her. And her eyes flutter open for a moment, and she looks up and she gasps. And as we end today's game session, she asks, Is he dead? And this is where we will end today's game session, ladies and gentlemen.
Does she ask about Arthur?
She said, "Is he dead?" That's all she said,
Yeah.
and we will go into that next game session next week.
That's a mystery.
Yes, it's our little cliffhanger. So I will award the experience points to all of our players as soon as I remove one person who did not take part in any of this.
Yeah, where was he?
He was
He was
eating.
over our houses.
Yeah, he was.
He stayed at the inn.
Yeah, he's at the inn. He's
Yeah.
chowing down and everything. He's like, "Okay, I'm just gonna stay here." Yeah, NPCs will not take part in things unless they absolutely have to. So, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, there we go for my stream. Thank you very much for everybody who is following and watching and everything today. This is Tales from the Yawning Portal, Dragon Mountain. This is our second episode of this. We just had 2 new players get introduced today. Stay tuned. Yes, exactly, and they're kick ass. Stay tuned next Wednesday at 10 a.m. when we have episode 3.
Yay, I just figured out I'm the most armored person right now.
Yes, you are. You are the most armored person with a 21 AC. So, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very much. We are over for today, though tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, we are playing Tales from the Yawning Portal, White Plume Mountain, with myself as a player for once, sitting down and playing, and Susie Q will be here, and we are journeying through White Plume Mountain. So, all right, so ladies and gentlemen, for myself, my players, for Susie Q, and for everybody here at GeoQuester Gaming, thank you for coming by today, and we will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. I had lots of fun.